Hey friend, today I want to show you how to make some little pumpkins, fabric pumpkins, using supplies that you probably already have on hand. Let's get started. For those of you who know that I've been walking through this long journey of grief, I have an update at the end of this video for you. If you didn't know my story and you're interested, I'll link that video so you can kind of get caught up where I am. In the meantime, I just want to share this little project that I actually made a couple of years ago. Some of you might remember it. And if you haven't seen this little project before, well, then it's just going to be new for you. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned to the end if you're interested in the update. Thanks, my friend. Here are the supplies that you need. You need a napkin, you need some stuffing, jute twine, you need heavy wire, poly pellets, or you could use rice, and you need some zip ties. So you just gather up the four corners, decide if that's big enough or not. I had to add a little bit more, and put the poly pellets in a little bag like that, or the rice on the bottom, and it'll give the pumpkin a nice weight. So anyway, you gather all that up. And then once you have it all gathered up, like bring in all the edges under your hand the best that you can, you're going to use a zip tie to hold it. Now I put that zip tie on, and then as I went around and pulled up more of the edges of the napkin, I tightened up the zip tie even more. So don't pull that zip tie completely tight right out of the gate. You want to give yourself some working room. This is just acting as another hand. But anyway, you just kind of fluff it out up at the top, and then you take this really heavy wire. I found this at my local Walmart. I will link it down below. I folded it in half, and then I just kind of stuffed it into the center of the opening there. And you're going to have to fool with this, like keep pulling and tugging and tightening that zip tie as you go along. You'll see how tight it needs to be. Then you take two of the corners and you bring them into that wire, leaving two of the corners extending out. They're kind of like wings off to the side. And we are going to make the stem out of this. Then you take that fabric that you've got around that heavy wire, and you take some jute twine and you tie it on first. Like I tied it underneath all that gathering, right where the zip tie is. I tied it in a knot first. And then I took that long end of the jute twine and I wrapped it around the wire and the fabric. What this does is it makes it kind of thick and bulky. And by the time you wrap this whole thing up with the jute twine, or most of it up, you have a nice, heavy, thick stem. And the great thing is that when you're done the season, you'll be able to just unwind all this and have all the parts and pieces for another project in the future. I wrapped the jute twine all the way up to cover the napkin completely, but I didn't go all the way to the top. I guess you could. And then I slowly wrapped back down and I tied the two ends together from, the very beginning when I tied that initial knot. Then I took the stem and I kind of bent it to make it look kind of cattywampus, like a little pumpkin stem, and just kind of made it look a little bit whimsical. So cute. I grabbed some scrap fabric that I have some burlap, and I have a pale green, and I just roughly cut out the shape of a leaf. Now don't get freaked out about this. It's just two parentheses put together. That's all that is, with a little section on the end. That burlap, by the way, was used to upholster a settee. I'll link that blog post down below and you'll see how gorgeous it is on the settee, and I have a lot of it left over. So I just cut it and then I just shoved that into the center part where that big heavy wire goes, and there you have it. We have a little leaf and a cute little pumpkin. So, I don't know, where do you start with an update like this? I don't know, it all seems so awkward, but I guess I'll just start talking. First, let me just say how overwhelmed I am with the amount of support that's been poured out when I shared the news about my husband's passing. It's unbelievable that so many people watched that video. So many people commented and shared their prayers, their concerns, their love and hugs towards me and support. Just so many encouraging words that were given to me over these last months. I can't even tell you how much that has meant to me. A lot of people said that the algorithm brought that video to them. And that might be well true. I know who controls the algorithm, so I know who brought that video to you. If you're one of those ones, I don't think I'm anybody special for that video to show up to so many people, but I think the message was, not that I have any special thing to say, but the message of grief is, it touches all of us in some way or another. We've lost parents or siblings, friends, a child, your spouse. A lot of us have walked through that journey, so grief touches a lot of us, and I think that's why that video resonated with so many. I'm not glad for the sadness of it, but I do feel blessed to be a part of that for so many people's lives that said that it was helpful. That means a lot to me. I spoke in that video about being creative and how I believe that we were created to be creative. And I still believe that's true. I don't have it back yet, but I think it's still coming, and it's coming back in little increments. And that's one of the reasons that I shared this this pumpkin, DIY pumpkin video with you, because I don't have a lot of my own creative thinking going in my mind, but I want to be creative. So I kind of did what a lot of us do. We borrow from somebody else, and I borrowed from myself and shared that pumpkin project with you. So right now, the kinds of things that I'm doing, there's a lot to do after somebody passes away. There's paperwork and filings, and it's just unbelievable the amount of tasks that have to be done in a situation like this, when you're in the middle of grieving and crying and the sadness and the loneliness, and you still have to do those things. And that's what I've been doing. I can't go into that kind of information here, obviously. I've spent a lot of time with my family and my friends as well. I joined a grief share group, and I meet once a week at this one particular church near us with about 5 other widows. It's been good to hear their experiences as well. Some are farther along in the journey, some are within a week, and it's been good to voice my thoughts and concerns and worries and feelings along with other women who have done the same and who are feeling the same. It's a no pressure group, which is wonderful. No pressure at all. You don't have to share, you don't have to open up, none of that. But if you want to, you can, and you have a safe place to do it. So if you've walked this journey and you need some help getting through it, I encourage you to search out a grief share group in your area. In fact, I think I will link the website, and I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to put in like a zip code or your city or something like that, and then you'll be able to find a group that can help you walk through this. And
I'm smiling because I'm looking past at that adorable little garden shed that my husband and I built last summer. And then his big workshop. Of course, he had that wonderful big workshop. But anyway. So what else am I doing? What else have I been up to? Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I do way too much laying around on the sofa watching YouTube. I do that. I've been watching some series on Amazon. I've got to tell you about one. Oh, what in the world? It's a helicopter. No, it's a small airplane. Oh, it's a crop duster. I know you're not going to be able to see it, but it's way up there. It's a crop duster. We're out in the boondocks here, and we have lots of crop dusters around, so that's a beautiful sound. I hope it doesn't interrupt what the sound quality here, but anyway, I've spent way too much time watching YouTube and way too much time watching, I'm going to sit down here, way too much time watching some series on Amazon Prime. Some of them have just been for the sheer reason of something to watch. Like, you just have to find something to let your mind rest on for a little while so that you don't have to have the grief in the forefront of your mind constantly, because that is what tends to happen. It's just right there all the time. So I have spent some time watching TV. As I say it now, it kind of feels silly that I've done that, but at the same time, it's not. I don't know. That'll make sense if you know what I'm talking about. One of the series that I'm watching right now, I'm in it right now, and I usually only watch this in the evenings. I'm trying to limit myself so that my brain doesn't completely turn to mush. Not being judgmental if that's what you need. I don't mean that as a judgment. I'm just saying that for me, I'm trying not to allow it to just consume my whole day. But anyway, the Prime series that I'm watching right now is I'm re-watching The Chosen. I started from season 1, episode 1, and I'm going through. I'm up to episode something in season 2. I let myself watch about 2 episodes at night before I go to bed. And that's been a really good way to kind of get some biblical thoughts into my mind before I go to sleep. And I find it very helpful to watch some of the scenes. If you have not seen that series, and if you have Amazon Prime, I mean, you get it for free. Just go over there and watch it. You can also watch it, I think, on, how else? If you have the Chosen app on your phone, you can get it free there. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sure of the other ways to watch it. But it's been really good, and it's if you watch that video that I shared a couple months ago about my grief, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in God. I have faith in Jesus, and watching that show has just brought me so much comfort, because I've walked with the Lord for 40 years, and it's hard to, sometimes that's been hard to do. But having that show, and even though they're actors, and I know that's not really Jesus, I know that, but it helps me to visualize some of the comfort that he brought to so many people during his 3-year ministry here. So it's been beneficial for me, because it helps me to imagine the help and the comfort that he's giving to me. Excuse me. Another thing that I've been up to quite a bit is a lot of journaling. I'm doing a lot of journaling. I open my journal every morning. As soon as I wake up, I open my Bible and I just journal. I'm using a little devotional app that is on my phone that takes you through some scripture. The whole thing only takes about 10 minutes. It's not long, but it takes you through some scripture, through some prayers. Then you can stop and pause and journal in between, and that's how I do it. And the nice thing, this app also has a nighttime version. So right when I turn my light off to go to sleep, I turn on the nighttime version of this and I fall asleep to somebody praying for me. I mean, it's comforting. It's just comforting. And that's really about it. That's what I've been up to. I mow my grass. I'm outside right now. It needs to be mowed, but I mow my grass. I spray my weeds. That might make a lot of you mad that I'm spraying weeds, but that's what I have to do to make my yard sustainable as far as upkeep. I clean my house. I change my sheets. I do my laundry. I'm not cooking. I haven't cooked for 4 months, except, oh yeah, I'm making these little egg bites as a way of getting some protein in me. I make these egg bites and I can freeze them. I found the recipe here on YouTube. It's a wonderful little recipe. If I remember, I'll link that video down below and you can go check that out. You just make up you use 12 eggs, I think. So you make up a whole bunch of them at once. And it's a really good way to have a little bit of protein in the freezer. I can just stick it in the microwave real quick and I have some protein to get in me. And I also made, now one of my daughters got me started on these little energy bites, and it's like, I'll try to put that recipe it's her recipe, but I'll put that down in the description section. But it's like, excuse me, it's peanut butter and oats and dried fruits, and let's see what else, some honey, and you just ball them up, you roll them up, and then I keep them in the freezer, and I can just pull out 3 or 4, and I know I'm really getting a good dose of protein. Because eating, when you're walking through this journey, let me tell you, eating is just, wow, it's hard. I have no motivation to cook. I don't want to cook for myself. I have been eating out, but I want to watch that because I want to take care of myself. I have a sister that made a whole bunch of meals in single servings, and they're in my freezer. I can pull those out. In fact, today I just went to Aldi and I bought some supplies to make a soup that kind of popped in my mind. It's going to be tortellini and Italian sausage and what else, spinach, and it's going to be like a cream-based soup. I don't know the ingredients yet. I'll come up with that. Hopefully tomorrow I'll make that. Maybe I'll try to make that and share it with you. And I'll freeze that in individual containers so that all I have to do is pull out 1 serving size and I'm good to go. But yeah, that's really about it. That's my update for now. I plan on coming back and working on projects and going to the thrift store and buying things, and I want to continue to do that. It's just not quite here yet, but I'm getting there. I do think I'm getting there. But I know many of you are wondering what's going on. I am trying to show up in my Facebook group. If you want to join me over there, I'm trying to go live once a week or so to just pop in and say hi to everybody. So if you want to join me over in my Facebook group, it's called Recreate and Decorate. I'll have it, well, I think it's linked down below in the description. So you can go there. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I wanted to just say thank you. I have so many new subscribers here. I have so many faithful subscribers that have been with me for several years now. I have email subscribers that watch here on YouTube and my blog readers. So thank you. The love and hugs and support that come across online are real. So thank you. I'm going to get this video edited. I hope you can make a couple of those pumpkins, and I'll see you next time.